That's what it looks like when the political environment is shifting beneath our feet. Like, I'm so happy. People, that is not normal. That is not normal. Blue wave in 2026? Damn right, but only if we do the work. I am Silvia Salazar, and this is Breaking the Feed. This year under Trump has felt like living in permanent chaos mode. And the guy clearly doesn't even care because he's literally nodding off in front of cameras in the middle of his cabinet meetings while the country deals with real problems. But while their side looks tired, voters are starting to wake up. In race after race this year, the results are quietly moving in the same direction, towards Democrats. And the special election in Tennessee was one more sign that the map for 2026 is not as safe for Republicans as they would like you to think. So today, we're going to talk about why I think a blue wave in 2026 is possible and what it's going to take for us to make it real. Hola! Welcome back to Breaking the Feed. Before we get into the good news story of today, because I have been very happy and you're like, what? Wait for a second. I want to share something that made me very happy. Because after our last episode where I shared the Gandalf quote from The Hobbit, I got this amazing voicemail. Listen to this.
Yo, what up, Dangerous Ones, my people? This is Mama T calling from Gig Harbor, Washington. And I wanted to shout out to Silvia Salazar for her reporting today. She's just the sweetest. And I loved the Gandalf quote that she showed. I just kind of want to put that on my phone and watch it every day just to remember that love and kindness is going to win in the end. But I think humor helps, so thanks for keeping it fucking real. Smell you later, homies.
Thank you, Mama T, for that incredible voice note. I always get so happy when people call the show, but also when they appreciate something from the Lord of the Rings. Now, because I told you I'm obsessed with Lord of the Rings, that gave me an idea for today's question of the day, because I want to get to know you from the Danger Corps a little bit more, and I want to know, what is a movie or TV show quote that helps you keep going or fuels your sense of resistance? I know that Tiffany from the Dangerous Ones is an expert at this. If you've heard them say that she thinks in movie quotes and movie references. Mine are basically all from Lord of the Rings, Ted Lasso, or Downton Abbey. But drop in the comments. I want to know what movies or TV shows the Danger Corps uses to get more energized. Okay? And I told you, I've been very happy all day. We need to talk about why. Because after everything we have lived through this year, I think that a blue wave in 2026 is possible. And the numbers are looking good. And I love numbers. We have good news. And I know that sounds insane after the year we've had with Trump. It's been exhausting, confusing. It's been a lot, okay? But underneath all that chaos, something real is happening in this country. And if you're looking ahead to 2026, wondering whether a blue wave is even possible, the answer is yeah, it might be. Or my failed President Obama impression, he would say, yes, we can. Much slower. Why am I saying that? Because this year's elections have been sending the same message over and over and over again. In special elections from Florida to Virginia to Arizona, Democrats have been overperforming their 2024 margins by huge amounts. And I'm not talking about by like a point or two, but I'm talking about double digits. Some districts shifted 16 to 23 points towards the Democrats. People, that is not normal. That is not normal. That is not normal. That's what it looks like when the political environment is shifting beneath our feet. I'm so happy. And here's the thing. You're like, oh, those were special elections. No, it's not just in special elections. Hello, where were we on November 5th? In governor's races in New Jersey and Virginia, the Democrats didn't just win. They won, but by much bigger margins than what we saw in 2024. And The local races are sending the same signal. I'm recording this on December 3rd. Last night, it wasn't just about Tennessee. There were elections in other parts of the country. And for example, Roswell, Georgia. This is a suburb that has leaned red for years. Now, the mayor's race went to a runoff because no candidate had over 50% of the vote. Okay? Now, last night in the runoff, the Democrat, I'm going to butcher her last name, Mary Robichaud, she defeated the incumbent who was endorsed by the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp. And she won by over 58% of the vote. Okay? 58% of the vote. So when you zoom out, you have Florida, Virginia, Arizona, New Jersey, Roswell, Georgia, you start to see the same story playing out everywhere. Voters are moving, they're shifting, Democrats are overperforming, and people are showing up. And that's why for the first time in a long time, I think a blue wave in 2026 is absolutely possible. But here's the thing, it's not guaranteed, it's not automatic. I don't want you to get complacent. This is possible if we do the work. And that is why we now have to talk about what happened in Tennessee. So depending on when you're watching this, I'm not going to say last night. On December 2nd, there was this special election in Tennessee's 7th congressional district. And yeah, the Republican won, but things are not looking good for the Republicans. So Tennessee 7 is a district that was drawn to be a safely Republican district. Trump won this district by 22 points in 2024. So a little bit over a year ago. Okay. Now, on December 2nd, there was a special election. The Republican candidate won by under 9 points. That means there was a 12 to 13 point shift towards the Democrats. And this is after Republicans were freaking out, spent millions of dollars. I don't know who even made false postcards to send to voters telling them that the election was on December 3rd and not the 2nd. So that is a disinformation campaign. It should be investigated, but I digress. Here's what we need to pay attention to. Every single county in this district moved to the left. Special elections usually have low participation because it's not tied to bigger election. But this year, it nearly matched 2022 midterm levels. Okay, that is insane. Depending on when the final numbers end up to be, because there are some ballots that are still being counted, maybe it's possible that more people voted in the Tennessee special election on December 2nd, 2025, than in the midterms in 2022. What? Okay, so I told you, the Democrats did not win the seat, but they closed the gap dramatically. 13-point shift. And in a district that is this conservative, that kind of movement sends a very, very loud message about what things might look like. So now I want to bring up a friend of mine who did a very, very good summary about this moment. So I want you to watch this clip from my friend Katie. She's a Native American activist, and she's a digital strategist based in Texas.
So about last night, Afton Bain lost, but did she really? Unfortunately, she did not win the election in Tennessee's 7th congressional district. However, she made a Republican stronghold competitive. So here are two things that we should take away from her run. The first is to invest in the South. Afton made a district that favored Republicans by 22 percentage points in 2024, competitive in 2025. We need to build lasting infrastructure in these areas that are often considered too far gone, because that is the only way that we will make progress. And second, we need to find Aftons everywhere. She may be new to the national conversation, but Afton Bain has been a force in Tennessee for years. And so we need to choose people who are active in their communities and begin investing in their talent early. This election is another warning sign to Republicans, because what once was their strongholds are no longer. So let's keep this energy and momentum going as we head into 2026.
Now, before I move on, I want you to follow her on Instagram. Her handle is Katie for Change, because I really adore her. I think you're going to learn a lot from her. You're going to love her content. And I want to help her hit her goal of reaching 10,000 followers by the end of the year. I think she deserves that. Danger Corps, don't let me down. Let's do this. But back to her clip. It is the perfect segue into, okay, so what do we do about all this? And I have a very specific suggestion. Momentum only matters if we actually use it, right? And the biggest lesson that we can learn from all of these elections, from Florida, Arizona, Roswell, Georgia, to Tennessee, is that we need candidates running everywhere. Every district, every county, every level of government. Not just the seats that consultants call competitive. We need people running in all of the seats. Because when Democrats show up, the numbers are moving. The only way you're going to guarantee a loss is if you don't even try, right? Now I'm anticipating, Sylvia, some districts, they're just pointless. It's too red. What is the point, right? Come on. I know you're thinking this. I know some of you are thinking this. I hear you. But here's something that somebody on Threads said perfectly. If we run the right candidate for a seat, and if we can claw 25 points back from these deep red districts, the winners still have to govern, which is really important. Okay? I'm not saying we're going to win everywhere, but if we can win in places we didn't dream of winning 13 months ago, heck, this is how we are going to break supermajorities. Maybe not in the next 12 months, but maybe in 2, 4, or 6 years. The only way we're going to do that is if we try, right? Tennessee just proved it. A district that Trump won by 22 points is suddenly a single-digit race. And that only happens when somebody runs and gives voters a real choice. And wait, I haven't gotten to the best part, because people are stepping up. Turns out that after the results came in for Tennessee's 7th district, more than 500 people signed up to run for office with an organization called Run for Something. More than 500 people. Now, if you are feeling that spark, that maybe I could do this, you have this feeling. This is why this organization, Run for Something, exists right here. Check out their website, is runforsomething.net. Now, I want to also clarify that they even help you figure out what office makes sense for you, depending on what's open, what matches what you care about, and they walk you through everything. Okay? 2026 is right around the corner. This is the year to get on the ballot. This is the year to build the bench and flood the map. Do you remember how it felt, the blue wave of 2018? And how amazing it would be to feel that again? So, if you're waiting for a sign, this is your sign, okay? I'm getting a little too energized. So, before we wrap up, I really, really want to hear from you. I want to hear more of your voices. This is a very special show. I want to hear your voice. Tell me your thoughts. Give me your movie quotes. Call me 503-212-4600. You can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can remain anonymous or give us your name. And if you don't want to do calls, because that's not your thing, you can also email me at shout@breakingthefeed.com. I want to thank you for watching. Please let me know as well if this is energizing. Please share the show, subscribe. I don't know if you've noticed, but the Dangerous Ones have been trying to do more live shows. That is something that we're going to start wrapping up here in the Dangerous Ones Network. Maybe I won't be too chicken and I will do my own live shows as well. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. And yeah, I love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. I am Sylvia Salazar, and this is Breaking the Feed on the Dangerous Ones Network.